Hey guys, it's Megan with Beauty Launchpad. We are here at Premiere Orlando with Lisa Lobosco from Crew, who's going to be showing us some runway-inspired looks from their new Remagine collection. So here you go, Lisa.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone who's tuning in with us. We're excited to be here. So I'm actually working on one of our models that we've used throughout the day today. So her hair does have some prep in it. So I'm going to start by just explaining what I did to prep her hair. So she's sectioned off from ear to ear, and I have this all pulled forward. Now you'll see that I have different sections within here, and I just kind of clipped them off, and they're random. I kind of brick layered where I wanted them to go because this is going to be my detail work. So and I know her hair is a little bit dark, but you can see there's sections. Here's a section in here, and then it goes over. So ear to ear, and then random sections, brick layering throughout the top.
How many sections do you have total? Or about?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7. Kind of depends on your end result. So let me explain what this is going to do. We're seeing tons of headbands and turbans and all types of things like that. So what we wanted to do is create that type of look, but working within the hair itself. So I'm leaving some of this natural, and I'm going to be doing different types of twists and intertwining them back and forth to create a headband type look and get her hair out of her face. So I mean, we all have clients, we would love for them to cut their hair, but so many times, you know, they don't want to. We all have those clients that have long, beautiful hair, they want to keep it, but they want something new too. So this is something that really, it's a fun look. It's a very, you know, on trend for right now what's happening. And this is just an inspiration. You can really go with it any way you want, depending on the type of hair that you're working on and what kind of event they're going to. So now for the back of her hair, if I can just have you tilt your head a little bit. So I've curled her hair using a smaller iron, and I just kind of went over a few of them because I've been brushing out her hair and I wanted to freshen it up. But what I've done is we're utilizing our sunlight styling spray. Her hair is really long, and one of the difficulties is in the salon or even for a client at home getting, first of all, an even curl from roots to ends, but also a curl that you can really go in and manipulate and work with, and it's going to stay there because, you know, time is money. So if we're wrapping the hair and then we go and we brush it or we run our hands through it, we lose that curl. We don't want that. So I utilize our sunlight styling spray, not our Max. We'll find that in a second. And just quickly spraying it on the hair, twisting and wrapping around, around, and around, pushing all the way down. And basically you can hold it for like maybe 3 seconds, and then when you take it out, you've got that even curl from roots to end. So it curls very, very quickly. I curled her hair for the last show in probably less than 10 minutes, and her hair is very long, and I've got that nice curl in there.
And what's her natural texture?
Her natural texture is straight.
Wow.
Yeah, and what happens, because it's a natural looking curl, even when you start to expand it, it looks like a natural curl, and it's very, you know, it's very touchable. So I'm gonna expand this out a little bit before I get to my front, and I'm gonna be using our styling balm. And styling balm, it's a really lightweight, versatile product. It's great. I use it for so many different things. And whenever you use it, basically you're just gonna rub your hands together until there's just a veil of product on there. And sometimes I even, like when I'm doing this type of work, I'll leave a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna take one, kind of open it up, and finger tease this a little bit. And what happens is, because of the styling balm, I can open this up as much as I want, but it'll maintain the shape. So if you wanted it more open, then you would use your fingers and kind of rake it a little bit more. So I'm just gonna open a few more for you. And it's really, sometimes it's fun doing it this way, so doing them more individual. And what I do is I make sure I kind of hold a tip a little bit so that as I'm pushing it, it's got some play. It's got something for me to work off of. And you can expand this, you know, as much as you want.
Gorgeous.
So I'll just do a few more, and then I'm going to move on to my front.
For everybody watching, if you have any questions, feel free to let us know, and we will answer them.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, even I've gone in, I've done about, you know, 4 or 5 pieces already. You don't need a lot of product. It goes a long way. So it's still there a little bit. Okay, so I can come back to expanding this out a little. I'll do just a few. That's going to be part of my front. Okay. Now, also, oh, I forgot to mention this. So also, when I was curling her hair, I did not curl anywhere near the scalp because I want my volume or my texture to start down about where the top of her ears are. Because if I start putting lots of curl up in here, I'm getting volume up in here, and I'm not looking for that. We want kind of like a 70s type vibe, you know, a little bit of hippie. So we want all our texture and our volume from pretty much mid-ear down. If I start curling too close to the scalp, it doesn't have that new fresh look. Okay, so now I'm going to take these random sections that I have, and I'm going to do rope twists.
Walk us through that.
Okay, so again, I'm going to keep that little bit of styling balm on the back of my hands. Take a little bit more than that. And it gives you a little bit of grip, so it's great for doing any kind of twists or braids or anything, because it makes it easy to grip the hair. And you can bring out texture or you can take it away. So these are going to be small, and you could do different things. Because of the curls that I created in her hair, I want to do rope twists, but you could do braids or, you know, anything that, or you could do different things all together. Like, this is really, you know, it's up to you and your creativity. So we want to wrap both strands going in one direction. So if I'm wrapping to my left, over to my left, and then I'm going to fold over to my right. So you always wrap the hair in the opposite direction of where you want it to fold. Just twist each time you go around. And you'll see as I start doing different sections, some are heavier and some are thinner. You don't want it so perfect. Even when I was sectioning the hair, I didn't use a comb. I just kind of grabbed sections because you want it to have a little bit more of an organic feel to it.
Now you're going to take it all the way down to the ends of the hair?
I'm going to take it about 3/4 of the way. So visually, what I'm thinking of in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, when I start crossing that over, where's it going to go? Okay. So a little bit further, and then a tiny bit more than you think, because, you know, it's going to unravel a tiny bit. I'm just going to clip it off. And this is a bigger section here. Okay, so it's still in my hands. Divide it up. Twist and wrap in the opposite way.
When you curled the hair, did it matter which direction you took the curl, forward or away from the face?
For this particular look, it really didn't, especially since I was so far down. I was, you know, if I was looking at a root direction and where my curling right from the scalp, then it would make a very big difference as far as my set. But because I'm starting all the way down here, it's not near the scalp, so it's free form. Off.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Remagine collection?
Yeah, so Remagine is remembering what was and imagining what it could be. So we've taken inspiration from the 70s and the 80s. Oh, I'm sorry. And you know, reimagined it. So take what we like, but we never want to we never want to go back to exactly what it was. Sometimes, you know, in the salon, I'll hear women say, "Oh, I should have saved it. You know, I wore that back when." And I'm thinking, if you, first of all, you know, if you wore it back when, you probably shouldn't be wearing it again. But it never comes back the same. You know, and it's the same thing with hair. We never want to do exactly what we did, you know, in past decades or anything. Same thing when we get inspiration. We look for inspiration in so many different things. We never want to copy it. We want to say, oh, okay, how would I go about it? And take it, and that's how trends grow, which I think is so interesting. And sometimes you can say, you know, I saw it on the runway. At Crew New York, we work backstage at the runways, and we get to see fashion, what's happening in fashion, you know, a year, sometimes 2 years in advance, which is fantastic. And you see where it started and where it ends up, and then once it gets to the street, it's really, really interesting. And that's what we do with the hair. So we see what's happening on the runway. I'm going to do one more quick one over here, and then I'm going to move to on my other side.
What are some of your favorite hair trends you've seen on the runway recently?
Well, you know, any type of twisting and knotting has been and will be very popular for a while. Trish, I'm going to have you just help me hold these. Thank you so much, just so it doesn't get caught back in our hair. So I'm going to have you hold the ones that are done. Any type of twisting and knotting it's just, you know, the possibilities are endless in what you can do. We've come up with, and actually, is it possible to have another model come in while I'm twisting this?
Absolutely.
So let me have Brianna. So if we could focus on, come forward a little bit. So for Brianna, you know, as I was mentioning, you know, before, those of you who are just coming in, we're seeing so many turbans and headbands, and it's just a huge look, and it looks really great. And we wanted to come up with something where we're actually utilizing the hair to create either a turban or a headband effect. And we've done this look with quite a few different variations. We've done it where we've taken the entire head and pulled it forward and draped it across where it looks like a turban. This we've taken less, so this has more of a headband effect to it. And I'm going to, let me just twist this a tiny bit more. I'm going to actually take this out a little bit and put it back together. You can hold on to that for me. So I have you tilt your head forward. So what I did here, pulled it in 2 sections, did my rope twist, wrapped it around and pinned it, and then just expanded it out.
So pretty.
So it's, the rope is the same technique I'm doing here, which is very intricate, and here it's just one big rope and twist it around. And what makes it have like a really fun editorial look is when you let like these little bits and pieces come out. And same thing, you want to have a more organic feel to it. So for this, same thing, working with a little bit of the styling balm, you just almost like massage around the hairline, and it pulls out all those bits and pieces and keeps it really soft and simple, rather than taking a tail comb and trying to get pieces. It always ends up looking a bit too chunky. Okay. So I'm going to continue over here. We're going to switch. First, I'm going to have you go over there and hold on to these. I'm going to do just a few more. You can have a seat. Thank you. So again, just a few. Oops.
Coming along.
Back over there. And then this is going to be a little bit of a larger one, because I don't want them all so tiny. I'm getting a little bit more of my styling balm. Put some in the back. And again, I like doing twists, especially because her hair is so long and we have these beautiful curls going down. And I think it just kind of works with it. It gives it kind of a bit of a festival type look. but you could do braids in here. You can do, you know, infinity twists.
Awesome.
So again, I'm going to twist one way and wrap to the other.
And are you doing all the twists the same way?
No, they're random. I'm not. I could go either way with them,
Cool.
because once I start intertwining them,
Mm-hmm.
it won't matter. So that one's a little bit fatter. And okay, I'm going to just do one more, and then I'm going to start twisting them up. Put that on there. One last one down here, because I want to make sure that I have one on both sides, like above the ears, so that when I pull it, I definitely get more of a headband. So these are the two. You want one above the ear, one above both ears. So that when I, like I said, once I start pulling them over. And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing in addition is utilizing some colored bobby pins. A little bit thicker. And pins, I love working with bobby pins. They just, you know, you can create so much with them. Okay. And again, we get so much inspiration from working on the runway, and models love our products because they go from show to show to show to show, and they always tell us how happy they are when they come and they see that a crew is there, because our products have skincare ingredients in them, and they know that their hair is going to be in great shape when they're done. Okay, so
Before we move on, can you just tell, for people who are just tuning in, can you tell us what we've done so far?
yes. Okay, so on my model, Madison, who she's been with us all day here at Premiere, I divided her head in two, created a section from ear to ear, which is going to be like a headband effect, and the rest of her long hair, which is naturally straight, I curled from roots to ends using a smaller curling iron and utilizing our sunlight styling spray. And that's allowing me to very quickly get this even curl from roots to ends. And then using a bit of our styling balm, I'm taking the curls and I'm expanding them, finger teasing them, but really just taking one at a time and expanding it to where I want, and leaving the ends somewhat put together. So it's not just a random tease. I'm really manipulating each individual curl. And I can expand that as much as I want. And also the curls, you can see I started about, say, 6 inches down.
Great.
Okay, I'm going to come around now. And take those. And now I'm just going to start pulling them over one by one, building my design in.
How do you decide how to build it?
It's going to be a little different every time I do it. So I know I want to start with one coming kind of close. Mm-hmm. And for Madison, her hair is very dark. So I want to make sure that I've got one closer to her hairline so that you see that in there. And then I'm just going to hold that a little bit. And I'm going to put one going in the opposite direction. And I'm allowing her curls at the end to go free.
Pretty.
And then once I start placing them, then I'm going to start putting more of my pins back and forth. Pull this over here and this over there. Okay. If you can hold that one. also wanted, you know, I left a little bit of natural hair coming out, so that is not so severe.
Makes it more wearable.
Much more wearable. This, I'm gonna pull actually a little bit more across her face. That's right there.
And then once again, let us know if you're watching, if you have any questions for Lisa about Ecru or the style she's creating.
Okay. This one's under there. I'm going to pull that one out and wrap that down a little bit over. Sneak behind her here. And I have one more. And then I'm going to start doing my pins. And I'm not using any elastics. I'm just putting a little bit of the styling balm to keep it together.
And how long does the hair need to be able to create this length or this look?
You can do a variation on virtually any length of hair, as long as, I would say, the top has to be 8 inches. Just going to go in with my pins. Let me see.
And you want the pins to stand out.
Yes, I want the pins to stand out. So now, once I start pulling her hair forward here, and actually I'm going to take her cape off while I start finishing up her look so that I can see her hair is dark and her cape is a little dark. And then I'm going to go in with our dry texture spray. On the length of her hair. And so when I'm doing these pins, you want to put enough in. You know, it's funny, when you're working with pins, you think, oh, it's really, you know, it's simple, and it is. However, if you don't put enough in, you want it to know that they're there on purpose. One or two, it's like, did you do that on purpose, or was it a mistake? So we definitely want enough that are in there.
Yeah, and with that design and the color sticking out, it looks very intentional.
Yeah.
It's good.
I always keep different pin colors with me. And see, you know, whichever one looks better. So between the rope twists and the pins, and interlocking them. Okay, liking that. Maybe just one more over here. And I'm going to go in with my dry texture spray. And our dry texture spray, this is a really unique product. It's a hybrid of a dry shampoo and a workable hairspray. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds.
Oh, and I can smell, it smells great.
Oh, it's really, has a great light scent to it. So it gives you a little bit of texture. Madison, just close your eyes because I'm going to spray a little bit on your face. And this is, you can use this on virtually any type of hair. So I use it on one length hair just to create a little bit of movement.
And do you always use it as a finishing spray, or do you use it as you go?
No, you can definitely use it as you go. This is, I mean, you can just use the dry texture spray, but it's not really a finishing spray. It's a working spray. Pull this down and do a little pin. Oh, I got one over here.
Lisa, if people want to find you, where can they find you online?
You can always see me on the Crew, of course, on our professional and our Crew Instagram, or under Lisa Lobosco.
Great.
So can I have you stand for me? Face the light. Just pull a few of these. I love these little pieces. And it's really, to me, it's a strong, but it's such a wearable look.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. This has been great, and thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Thank you so much.